So currently right now, kind of like in between jobs. I had surgery due to an incident at my previous job where I had a part of my shoulder taken out. The actual CEO, the actual manager, director of the magazine wanted me to work with him. But he started making things very uncomfortable. We had some money due to an accident, and that pretty much landed us in a pretty like $50,000 settlement because nobody wants to own it. Now it's like, oh, now we're down to what, $300? Where did all that money go?
Hello friends, welcome to yet another episode of this podcast, Real Money Habits with me, Sharan Amit. In this podcast, we talk to real people who bravely share their financial stories and money habits with the world at large, in the hope that you find it both inspiring and entertaining. Today we talk to Moose. Moose had to unfortunately face a very peculiar and uncomfortable situation at his work, which led to him making some very tough choices. And 20 years later, in some ways he hasn't really recovered financially yet. But he is now making some small incremental improvements in his financial life while keeping his passion alive and still trying to make it in the career of his choice. Today's discussion was very interesting. Moose speaks from his heart. So let's hear from him.
So my name is Moose Tafir. Abdul Basir. Everybody calls me Moose. I'm 40 years old and I live in Georgia, Riverdale, Georgia. So what does money mean to me, or when I hear the word money, what pops into my head? Better living. Comfortable living. I wouldn't go ahead and say as far as great, but in my sense, because great and excellence, I like to be comfortable, simple. So money, good living. Second what it means to me. Without money, it's kind of tough out there in the world without some money. The world runs around it. We can't deny it.
You can't deny. You can't wish it away. That's the reality of the world, and that's what I tell my audience, that money is something which is important. So, and you just can't live without it. So, whether you like it or not, it's better to be informed about money, right? So that you can make right choices. And today we are talking to Moose, so we'll find out whether Moose has been making right choices with money or not. I like it that you are laughing about it. Okay, cool. So Moose, why don't we get started? If you can tell us, how are you kind of going to do, what are your income sources? How are you earning money?
So currently right now, kind of like in between jobs. I had surgery due to an incident at my previous job where I had a part of my shoulder taken out. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened?
A customer, we're selling like vanity sets, household stuff that people would actually put into the landfill. We would go ahead and salvage it and sell it to somebody at a lower cost. So you say, like for this office, for example, you say, hey, I'm remodeling. It's just still good stuff. I don't want to throw it away. We would come get it from you, and then we'd sell it to, anybody that needed it at a pretty good cost. Well, what happened was we had a vanity set. We had a vanity sale. Mm-hmm. It was going crazy. We had a lot of nice ones there. People's all over the place. And we usually tell the customers to wait when it comes to the vanity set, because the top, the marble part at the top is heavy. Sure, yeah, you can underestimate it. You can look at it, oh, it's not that bad. And go lift it, and it goes your back. Yeah. What happened was a guy came, straight real fast. The guy came, he said, no, I can help you out. I got to go. I was like, we just wait for my partner to come. And I said, okay, just do what I say, lift how I lift, okay? Lead your knees up, and you got to clear it, because the bowl was turning, so we're going to clear it. Otherwise, it's going to take the whole, the bottom part with it. Yeah, he just didn't follow through the rules. And he gets it, he doesn't clear it, he's going forward. I tell him to stop, back up. I'm yelling like, stop, back up. You didn't clear it. The whole thing will come down, and he starts to go down with it. And I hold it. Now I'm holding on it for dear life. And this is, we're talking dear life, and I felt my shoulders just start to feel weaker. And like, honestly, to explain the feeling, it felt like it was spaghetti on my arm. My arm was spaghetti.
Oh my God.
Only, but I still,
I'm feeling pain just thinking about it. Hearing you talk about it.
My guy, Felipe finally comes over and helps out. And, everything gets situated. He gets it into the car. And Felipe says, hey, are you okay? I said, yeah. He said, look at your shoulder. I look down at my shoulder. My shoulder is in my back. It's on my back. It's in back. It's where it's supposed to be. It's in back. So I looked at it, and I'm like, and then it just popped right back forward. And he looked and said, "You okay?" I moved it around. I said, "Nothing's bothering me." At the moment, shop, all that at the moment. Both of it was bothering me, and found out there was a whole bunch of problems in there. And when I got announced to the job, they still had me working with the arm instead of doing what the doctors had said. They kept me still working on the floor. It got worse to the point where I finally had to have surgery. They had to shave a piece of my shoulder out. So it caused me to have 11% disability. So that happened last year, August. And basically that's the whole job thing is now.
So you have practically not been working since last August?
Well, not in that field. So I can't go back to that field because of disability. And
But that was the thing that you were working on.
yeah.
So did you have, were you able to file disability or something?
So I was able to file. That's still disability. It takes for a long time. So I filed. They definitely have the information. I had to go through doctors and all that. And then they have to go to the mental doctors of how did you, how was you doing your surgery, recovering? Did you have to take medication? How are you now? Knowing that you have a disability. Naturally, that's the whole process that's going on.
But tell me this, did your employer have any insurance or worker compensation?
So I was getting that. I was getting workman's compensation. It was pennies, but it was helping me kind of make.
At least kept you alive. You got something?
Yeah.
That's another thing. If you work for an employer, many people nowadays go for gig jobs. And if you work for a reputable company, obviously that they will have insurance and all. But that's something to think about. When you're young, you feel like you can do anything. But if you don't go work for a reputable employer or employer who keeps insurance, that's a big risk. So I think your experience will tell everyone that you should make sure that your employer will ensure and carrying the right insurance before you start working.
You're right.
Okay. So you got those, and then where are you now?
So that had happened, and what I was doing was so right now primarily what I'm doing for financial wise, to support myself and my family, is basically doing gig work. I work for a capsule pharmacy group. I deliver prescriptions, which is kind of a new thing because prescriptions weren't really able to be delivered like that. So doing that, helping them expand. Also, too, I decided to invest in myself.
So besides that, on the prescription delivery, that's pretty interesting. And like you said, it's pretty new. I've heard about data drivers and all that, but prescription delivery is relatively new. So is it for a large pharmacy, or do you deliver for all pharmacies? So that's how it was done.
So it's capsule pharmacy. I believe CVS has something similar, but what capsule does is more like Uber pharmacy. So anybody, can get their stuff delivered. I think it's a certain rate that you pay, or if your insurance allows it as well too. But I know I'm paying for this service. But yeah, it's I want I'm just gonna be out. I want my Percocets. They can get it delivered to the house. That's a controlled substance that has to be picked up at the pharmacy. Now, as long as you're at home and you sign for it, I can deliver it to your front door.
That's a good service because there are many people. Generally, when do you need prescription? Yeah. When you're not feeling well, right? And you either have a disability, you're a senior. Yeah. So I think this service is clearly in demand. Yeah. And how do you spell the company?
So it's Capsule, CAPSULE, pharmacy.
Oh, Capsule Pharmacy. Yeah. That's very interesting. Okay, so how do the pay? Is it a good pay? Have you done any other delivery Uber and DoorDash? How does it compare to that?
So I did some side delivery things with my dad back in Boston. That had really to put down the resume. I was familiar with how to deliver stuff, so that was actually working with capsules. Actually, my first time actually making it a job. And doing it on more consistent full-time basis instead of part-time, or just here and there, spot maybe a Sunday and Saturday, and that's it. I'll do it for another month. But no, I actually enjoyed it, so I actually do it a lot more. I made it full-time. I was like, hey, I'm not doing anything. I can't go back into the labor field because of my shoulder. So this is not so bad. I'm just dry, so it's not a lot of stress onto the shoulder. So I said, hey guys, give me a schedule, and that's it. Okay.
So that's pretty much your full time now?
So that's pretty much
broadly how much you make per month?
It's about $15 an hour. So we're taking, if I pull in a good 40 hours a week, about 5 and some change I can bring home. It's spotty still because they're still working on the schedule of making it a full-time schedule consistently. But so far so good. I've had a good month where they pretty much had me almost 40 hours a week, and it was about $2,000 a month. $25,000 a year, dude said. If it's consistent and I keep on with it, that's the only thing, because it's a third party company giving it to me, you know.
And that's a problem with gig work. Like, it gives flexibility, but it comes with that unpredictability, which is not there in a regular 9 to 5 job. So my general suggestion to everyone is, in your situation, is if you can either find multiple gig work, or if there is one job which is, say, much more stable, much more predictable, and it provides you the right benefits, then take that, and then generally use gig work to supplement your income. If you are only banking on gig work, I think it's very risky. It better pay you much more because you're taking higher risk.
Sure. Yeah. I actually like your suggestion. You know, it's because at this point right now, it's funny to say that, because it was like, okay, so you're gonna go back, either find some more stable job security wise, and do that, being a carrier, and say, go for Amazon or Uber Eats. This is more job security. This is a job, with benefits, insurance, and get away from the gig work. But my whole goal was always to be modeling and acting eventually again, because I had it taken away from me.
You say you had it taken away from you? Yes. And then, in fact, good that you brought that up, because I was interested. You said you were 40, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure you were not doing this job lifting stuff all your life, right? So what were you doing earlier? I wanted to ask. Looks like you were doing modeling.
Yeah. So when I got out of high school, I got into modeling. There was a little showcase audition going on. I showed up, me and my cousin and my boys, there. And they was like, hey, you want to model? And they pointed me out, like, hey, do you want to go on stage and see if you can model? I was like, sure, I'll try it out. Got on stage. I did what they asked me to do, as far as so it's stage modeling. That's what they call it, stage modeling. So I, walked the stage, did the turns and stuff, and it was like, hey, you're in if you want to be in. I was just like that. It was like, yeah, you got the skills for it. I was like, okay.
And I'm sure the looks.
Yeah, that's right. You fit the part, so I was like, hang on with it, So I was like, yeah.
Where were you in Atlanta?
This is in Boston.
Oh, this is Boston. You were in Boston at that time.
It was supposed to be for an independent magazine called G-Boss. I don't think they launched off. I don't know. I never kept up with it since.
But when you were doing modeling, what kind of money were you making?
Good question. Good money.
Good money?
That's good money. You get it at a young age, and you get it like that. It's kind of hard to go a different direction, And I'll tell you something about that. So I was making about $500, close up to $800 a week. And I probably did like one show or two shows. I didn't go to the makeup booth because I really need the makeup at the time, It was lucrative for a kid at the age 18, 17, 18, 19 years old. I say, hey, in college, I'm taking online classes, but I don't want to really be in business. I want to go to entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I've acted in school. I was in plays and stuff. I made demo tapes, to rap and sing and write music. So this is my,
So you were on path to get into the showbiz entertainment industry. Yeah. You were in Boston, right? So what happened? Why didn't you kind of go forward and stick to that career?
And that's a good question. So when I was modeling with, I'm just going to say with G-Boss magazine, because that's what it was. The actual CEO, the actual manager, director of the magazine wanted me to work with him. But he started making things very uncomfortable. And
uncomfortable how? Like, was it a tough boss?
He's more like he liked men. Just going to be honest. Like he liked boys. To be honest with you as well.
Oh, young men. Yeah. That's a problem. Liking men may not be a problem, but making young girls uncomfortable is a problem. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah. We went to go get lunch at McDonald's one time. He goes to come into the men's room. I got the door open, stall closed. And after he whispers something, and I'm like, what? And it freaked me out, man. Something.
Oh, wow.
It freaked me out, something different. So my mom, and at the time, my grandmother, unfortunate that my grandmother had got sick and ill, and she couldn't take care of the house that my grandfather had built for them. That my mom had lived in, and was like, hey, my mother was like, hey, you want your own apartment without no rent to pay and all like that? And that lit me up. But she was like, well, hold on, what about your mom and thing? And I kind of kept it from her. I was like, it's just not going right. They're going another direction. I don't know why I didn't bring it to say to them at the time, young-wise. It just didn't bring it. So I was like, nah, I'm going to go live in Vancouver. So I was like, it was just too weird for me.
And I feel for you, man. It's unfortunate, But you are telling me that you had a good lucrative career, possibly which could have led to a very different life for you, taken away from you because of a boss who was not doing what he should have been doing, like who was basically taking advantage of folks under him, right?
It's literally like this. The definition of rubbing me the wrong way. Not literally, but yeah, eyes wide, body language wise, things just saying he really rubbed me the wrong way too many times. And I was like, I'm gonna go to Connecticut and maybe I'll find it better out there. I'll start out there again and stuff. But
I'm really, really sorry to hear that. And I wish you were young. I wish you had the right guidance at that point to get out of that situation without sacrificing your career. But I'm sure there are many who find themselves in similar situations, and they are also either they're not able to come out of it, they get exploited, or they have to lose a career. So I think now that you are wiser, and I know it was like a different era, like years ago, today probably situation is better, but any message to somebody who, again, we're keeping it more financial game. So I'm just talking, if somebody has a career opportunity but they're feeling uncomfortable about it, right, because of the situation, would you advise them to just walk away from it, or would you, a younger you now that you're wiser, would you advise younger yourself different?
that's good. I like that. I would tell them, get somebody involved, whether agent, lawyer, parents, get them in, especially if you're young, get them involved into everything. Make sure they're showing up, make sure they understand the finances and stuff. Let them be your manager and let them maybe help. Because you're young, you're money bound. I didn't have the agent or the parent right next to me. They were off doing something else, and I'm pretty much trying to make all the decisions. I'm gonna do this, all this, trying to schedule my next walkways and stuff. Get an adult, somebody you trust, somebody's gonna look after you and your virtue and all that good stuff. Especially, and I'm saying this to the young ones. I was young then. Get an adult involved and make sure they get involved. Do not proceed to go further until you have that adult by your side when you're making money decisions, when you're signing contracts, when they're telling you what outfits to put on. Because sometimes you put on an outfit, you're like, wait a minute, this is like that on, but I'm not that. Well, it's just an agent, manager for the,
Very good advice. So have somebody in your corner.
Yeah.
And then again, before we move forward, I must say that I feel sorry for you that you had to go through that situation and that has affected your life. But now you're doing good, right? So from that perspective, you have a free mind. So you made a decision, and kudos to you that you could get yourself out of an uncomfortable situation. Now let's move on. So how did you come to Atlanta?
So financial situations.
Okay.
That's exactly what landed me here. Poor choices, self-destruction, bad decisions. Should have, could have, but didn't. Literally. All that stuff that you said.
Story of life, man.
All came one by one. And basically, we had some money due to an accident. My fiance had fell down the steps on the winter time. The landlord didn't salt the steps. She fell down and broke her ankle.
Wow.
Yeah. And of course, there was a lawsuit. I took pictures of the steps. I got home that day, took pictures of the steps under the steps now, with no salt on it. And that pretty much landed us in a pretty like $50,000 settlement.
Wow, you got $50,000 settlement?
Off those pictures. So they said they did salt it. I was like, no, you didn't. I had pictures. I was like, no, you didn't. And it was like, okay, we'll start with $50,000. I'm like, yeah, why you gonna lie to me? I live here. So,
wow, good for that. There is only the settlement part, not the falling part. I'm sorry about that. But not everyone gets a $50,000 settlement. So okay, and then that's great. So in your financial situation, getting $50,000, you better tell me that you made good use of that money, change your family's finances. Did you?
Should have, could have, but didn't.
Wow.
So what happened was, you party. You have fun. You start living. You do take care of bills, but saving, investing, maybe put some equity, like maybe getting some things like that. Just that. Like something put some equity. Have some equity, with it. I mean, now at that time at the age, no, because I'm 40, so about like 28 at the time. Yeah, maybe going towards 30. So I mean, you know better. You're supposed to know better.
So give me a rundown. Like even if you're having party, you can't blow $50,000. So give me a rundown about how do you think you managed to spend $50,000, and more importantly, how long did it take you to blow through that money?
Okay, so how long? Well, goodness, probably about. Actually, I'm not even proud about this. I'm not happy about this at all. I took my bachelor for this one. We probably blew through that in about 6 months.
6 months, you spent $50,000.
Family, out to eat all the time, partying all the time. Hey, if you're partying with party favors, those are expensive. We're young, we're out there and you're at range, at college parties, pop, smoke, drinking.
Oh my God.
In vehicles left and right. Once again, and handing out. And that's one of the biggest things. When you're handing out to the leeches, we just all come back and want more.
And I'm sure at that time you had all the family coming to you. You had a lot of friends, right? And there will be nowhere to be seen after that 6 months, right?
No way for them ever again.
Oh my God.
You get paid back by these people, and it's once again, I'm gonna pay you that. I'm pay you that.
I know. I've done before.
Don't see us.
So here is my policy, and we'll come back to you. But when you are helping friends and family, I have a rule. Either you say no, right? If you don't have enough, say no. They'll be upset for a few days, but in the long run, you'll be better off. Your relationship would be better off if you would have said no. Second, if you want to help, if you really want to help, write that money off. Once you have given it to friend and family, do not expect it back. Only you can, if you think that I'm giving this and I'm not expecting, if they turn up on your door one day, ring the bell and say, here is the $1,000, take it back.
Yeah.
But if not giving it back is going to affect you financially and it is going to affect your relationship, do not give your money. This is my message to everyone.
I respect that.
Okay? Yeah. So you blew through $50,000. I'm still not able to digest it. I know it can be done. Of course it can be done. You can stand on a street and kind of hand it out or throw it in the air. But spending $50,000 in just 6 months, and tell me, you already said you were partying and enjoying. So let's assume you blew through it, right? You gave money to friends and family who were not really friends and family, if you ask me. But tell me, that moment, like leave that moment for me, like you and your fiance, 6 months is done. How did you discover that now you are out of money and what happened?
Bills are coming to you. Arguments are peaking up in the house. Tensions building up. You start bickering with each other. Oh, well, you did this. Well, you did that. Well, you told somebody this. Well, you told. Well, you let it out this. And it's back and forth. And you're passing the buck and the blame because nobody wants to own it. Now it's like, oh, now we're down to what? $300. Where all that money go? You both look at each other, and everybody's back. Well, I told you not to do that. Why you didn't? That only accounts for about 1% of that money. That don't count for all it.
Have you heard this? They say that when poverty comes through the door, love flies out of the window.
I experienced it.
Yeah, so it makes it difficult even with people that you really care for. And that's what we were talking about, money. So, okay. So you made some bad choices when you find yourself here. Then you probably started to try and pick up your life again.
Yeah, so that, went back. So I went back to work. I was working, but I ended up, when that was pretty much gone, I was working as a hazmat operator. So any hazardous stuff that was going on, so I worked hurricane disasters. I worked spill disasters, chemical spill disasters, oil spills and stuff like that. So I went to school. That was my trade. So that was what I went to school for after high school. I did go to trade. I went to trade school. So I always went and worked with heavy machines and stuff like that. I was a guy, I love tools, like make noise and I can drive things, do things.
And again, hazmat, right?
Hazmat.
So that's great, like handling hazardous. I say great because not everyone is cut off for that. And one would assume that if you went to school for that, it should again be a more stable, predictable career. Why didn't you stick to that field? I'm assuming you're no longer in that.
My back got bad because that's a really high labor. With a Tyvek suit on, and then you have to wear airtight. But not even that, just putting a Tyvek suit or two on, and you have to crawl underneath somebody's house, and you have to be in there for about 2 hours, crunched over. The wear and tear in your body is unbelievable. And then people say, "Well, you're young. Imagine what happens as you get to 40." And it's like, what is this going on in my back? The doctor says, "Oh, you'll feel this at 40. Trust me." Yeah, Lord. The doctor was like, "Oh, you're about 50. You'll feel this. Sure, you might want to mark that down in your calendar because you don't be lying about that too much, But I was in the thick of it. I mean, I was standing next to a house with another house right through it, having to stop a lady from going in there to get her stuff because if you step on that porch, that dang house that's inside your house is going to fall on you.
Oh my God.
I was there and I seen it, But the reason why I got the hazmat show was really because I got to a back car accident. I shattered my whole left arm. No, my right arm. I'm a righty. So I shattered my whole right arm and I was out of work. And I was out of work for a while. And my girl, I think she was my girl at the time, she had flaked out. Let me not say that. My apologies. She got played by another company. And ended up not having a job at all, and that story is still confusing to me, how that all took place. But anyway, she was supposed to go work for another company. The company that she was supposed to go work for was supposed to be stealing her from another company and blah, blah, blah. She ended up with nothing. So what happened was we were with another, I had a broken arm. She had no job. Bills wasn't getting paid. Infections are coming. Ain't no the guy with the badge. Now on your door like, Wixon notice. You know what I'm saying? So her mother was like, hey, come to Georgia. Start fresh over again. Just let that, we'll scratch all that away and start. And that's how I ended up in Georgia.
And sometimes it is good to start afresh, provided you have either a plan or a support system. I don't know which one you have. It sounded like you had some kind of support system through a girlfriend and the family. Did it work out for you? Like, did you find your footing when you landed?
Yeah, when I got here, yeah. I would have, but a lot of my own doing, I'm be honest, because when I got here with her, it really felt like I was just her trophy for a while. I'm being honest. I have to say that because that is the truth. But it was smart. When I got here, I was on. Even with a broken arm, I went job hunting. I actually landed a job, but the lady was like, okay, boy, you have a broken arm, you're the cat, so you're hired, but you can't come in, so that's all. This, that. Oh, wait. And I was so determined. And she said on the couch watching TV, yes, sir, I got a job today. I got a broken arm. What'd you do? Love her to death, though. I can talk trash, but love her to death. But, yeah, we met through child and tribulation. We don't want a lot of fire.
And these are relationships. Again, like you said, sometimes people take advantage of relationship. Not saying it's up to you to decide whether that happened with you, but folks do take advantage of relationship. And while money and love can't be equated, it's like there is no definition. Like you don't love somebody only if they either contribute equally. But I equate that with respect. If you have a respect for your partner, you as a partner would want to bring something to the relationship. Now, it may not be money always. Maybe you are contributing in a different way, like taking care of family, taking care of kids, for example, or anything, taking care of your partner. If you're doing, when you are contributing in some way, that shows that you respect your partner and you are trying to be equal in relationship, right? So that is something which I feel it's fair to expect from a partner.
Yeah, I can say it better myself. Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, that's all I feel.
Okay. So now let's come back. So you say you're making about $2,000 a month.
So yeah, doing what I'm doing now, takes in about $2,000 a month. And then if I say, well, why we're not going for the job security thing right now, is because I've been there, I've done that, and I know this is my challenge. Is get back into the modeling world, get back to, and you know what, moves go above the money. You've been in it with the modeling, acting and stuff. You got the talent, you got the skills, and that's what I always wanted to do. I don't want to wait till I'm like 67 years old. It's like, that's all been past me already. I was like, I'm still fairly, I think, young. My body's pretty in good shape. I can still do a lot of stuff for a 40-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
You can. There are enough opportunities. In fact, I want to tell you, and I'm sure you know you are in this field, Atlanta is catching up. It's one of the locations which there are a lot more acting opportunities coming up. A lot more companies are shifting their production to Atlanta, even from the West.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a neighbor right in this neighborhood who is closely involved, and he is a coach actually. He helps people. So maybe I can give you a reference and see if you are really looking for, like, he connects people with acting gigs and other things. So we'll do that. But my question to you is, what have you been doing till now? Have you been trying enough? Why haven't you started getting some acting gigs? Because there are enough available in Atlanta. If that is where you have interest.
That's a good question. So it was all about investing in myself and having the funds for it. So once again, finances. And as you have to be honest with myself, I'm terrible with finances. My discipline is about It's about -1.
Wow, so we're rate yourself -1.
I mean, I'm being honest with myself. You know, I could definitely benefit from more discipline. I know this, you know, but I would say at that time, reason why I was not. It's like that, you have to pay, you ever, go to your classes and stuff like that, get yourself going again, get yourself out there. And, it's just always coming up short. Like, it's 400. I got 200. I shouldn't have did this one. I shouldn't have did that. Knowing that I was like, okay, I want to hold this right here so that I can go ahead and pay for my classes. I mean, and I'll start off good intentions and all that. Okay, leave it alone, add some more to it. Oh, I can just take a little here. I'll put it back. Yeah, I can just say, we gotta do this. Okay, it was fun. And then it's like, shit. And now the short of the cash went, I was religious with that. I was religious with that for a while. It just wasn't until, honestly, what did it? This guy right here. This way, it actually put discipline into me. It actually opened my eyes with finances. So now it was like, that's how I was able to get to afford my classes. That's why I was actually able to go ahead and do the gig work and do my acting classes and be kind of straight with my bills and stuff. Because it's like, listen, I want to do this and I can't really do all the additions I want to do. And I can't even do the roles if I really have it for 9 to 5, because the role starts at 7 o'clock in the morning and ends at 4, you're going to miss work.
So if I understand you correctly, because your desire is to get into acting, you are kind of saying no to a full-time job, doing a gig job, so that you can maintain that flexibility. Is that the thought?
Yes. So if they need me, say there's an audition Tuesday at 11 a.m., I want to be there. You got to show up to every audition until somebody says yes. If you have that, and that's why I understand waiters now. And why waiters always say, well, I'm in acting and stuff like that, because they have that flexibility. You have to be able to attend an audition. An audition will be at any time, and they're not going to wait for you. And everybody, oh, well, you can reschedule. No, Dave, come on, Dave, next.
Yeah, fair enough. Completely get it, Musa. And I'll tell you, I would say this is how I've lived my own life, and this is what I tell everyone, that if you have a desire, if you want to have a wish, you think that you want to do something, like in your case, you want to be an actor, you should be able to or willing to take some risk. The risk that you are taking is not saying no to a full-time job and keeping the flexibility with you, right? So you are sacrificing something.
Yeah.
I respect that. Having said that, what cannot happen is that you cannot just keep it open-ended, because you are 40, you probably have been trying for a while, and you still want to do it. My suggestion, my advice to you would be, fix a time frame. Whatever you think is right, and don't keep it 3 years, 5 years. You have to do it in months, right? So for example, you give them 3 months or 6 months at the most. You say that next 6 months, I'm doing my gig work, I need to survive, still need to pay my bills, but I'm doing the gig work, and then I am going to focus on going to these casting calls and other things so that I can fulfill my dream, right? So, and give your best, like go for each and every casting call, even if it means that in a month you'll make less than 2,000. We'll talk about how you can still save some money within that 2,000, right, to see you through, figure things out, but focus on getting your acting gig. But we have to be realistic as well. So at the end of 6 months, God forbid, for some reason you're not finding the right opportunities, you have to tell yourself that now I'm going to accept a full-time job, right? Because life does not stop. You cannot allow yourself to be 60 and say, I was trying this didn't happen, and now I have to continue to do labor-intensive job and I'm 60 because I have no savings, right? So you have to start thinking about a job with some benefits, some medical, some savings, if you cannot do for some reason what you really desire. So I'm still advocating that you prioritize what you want to do, but do it with be realistic, put a certain time limit to it.
I respect that.
Okay, cool. So, tell me about your habit of spending. I was already given yourself -1, so that's very, very interesting. Somebody is -1, but let's add some more color to it. Like, how do you use your credit cards, for example?
Oh man, I cut all my credit cards in half about 6 years ago.
Have you cut them all?
Well, I'm lying. About no, it's about
You never 6 years ago. You thought about cutting them all, but couldn't getting yourself to do it.
So I'm talking about. Okay, so I don't have any credit cards now. I probably stopped.
Okay.
I had my last credit card last year. That's the last one I decided to have. I paid things. And so I like how you say, people ask me that question too. Like, where's your money go? And that's always somebody says, where's your money go? How do you spend? I don't know how to put this. I am like a stickler to bills or anything that I feel is going to affect my surroundings, where I lay my head at, how I eat, my TV. I'm obsessed. Okay, I need my rent paid. I need my cable paid. I need my water paid. I need my electricity paid, and
so again, I respect that, right? You feel like you're homeowner or right, whoever, if you're doing a rent, you're paying your rent, that's admirable. You're paying all your bills, that's admirable. Question is, are all the bills really, like, do you really need to have those bills in the first place? Rent, yes, for example, but again, we can dig into it. How much you pay for rent, for example?
So, well, I mean, rent was just a safe account, because I actually don't pay rent. Me and my wife.
You don't pay rent?
No, me and my wife.
I mean, how are you doing it? How are you live for free? I mean, I don't want it all.
I pay land taxes. So we bought it. Her mother had passed away. And she was my mom too. Not my biological mother, but she was my mother. Nobody ever take that. My mom had passed away about maybe 3 years ago. Don't quote me. Wives might get mad at me, but about 2-3 years ago, my mom had passed away and left her some money when she passed away. So that's why I was able to get the house.
So you own the house. You and fiance, you own the house. Okay, that's good.
So we usually pay land taxes. So what happened was, now, I'm gonna be at the present and up to now. So what happened was, we forgot about the land taxes. It just disappeared from
So you want me to say the property taxes that you're required to pay?
Yeah.
You forget about that.
Got out of control. We forgot about it. I don't know how either. I don't. See, this, I could not tell you. How did this not dawn on y'all?
Didn't they not send you bills?
Later on, when it was like, oh, hello, this. And it's like,
They're coming to take your house.
you don't know this. We auctioned it next week.
No, oh my God. Yeah. But again, I'm not clear. They shouldn't be sending you bills everywhere.
So yeah, you do. You get it, but you get it once.
Once a week.
Yeah, if it gets misplaced,
and it gets misplaced. How many years it got misplaced?
So it got misplaced for about, we've been living over there for about 3 years now. It got misplaced. The next month we moved in, it got misplaced, the first one. So it was supposed to give us, remind us that, hey, by the way, by the end of the year, you want to take care of this. Well, that got misplaced. So I said, I don't know what, so that. And
then tell me this, do you have a mortgage on the house?
No. So it's completely.
So that's another thing. I love that you don't have a mortgage. I'm not advocating get a mortgage, but I'm just telling folks who, like, in America, majority of people get a mortgage to get a house.
Yeah.
And when you are buying a house on mortgage, then you have a choice. Like, do you want the mortgage company to have an account for you where they kind of take care of property taxes, insurance, right? They can do it for you, or they can let you do it. Yeah. Again, my advice to anyone who needs a mortgage for their family home is to always make sure that they have that account with the mortgage company, because they keep you honest. They track your insurance, they track your property taxes, because they have put a mortgage on it. They don't want anything to happen to the house. So that's always beneficial to giving them to the mortgage company. But even in a better situation that you don't have a mortgage, but forgetting about taxes is very, very risky.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you, how much was the bill, final bill that you had to clear?
When we finally got, when it was like, hey, we're going to auction it. And they were actually pretty lenient in a sense, because they could have probably been able to 5,000. When I actually got the letter in the mail, actually seen it and opened it up, and I was like, what's this? And it's 2 years. No, this is 2 years worth, right? Okay, so we've been living over about 4 years. Yeah, okay. But we had another one, so yeah, we've been living over for about 4 years. So that was 2 years behind, and then we had another one that was 2 years behind.
So if it's more of a thing, higher than it price? And you want to tell me you just forgot? No, that's not in price. This one were you?
So the second time, carelessness.
Yeah.
Fast food. Put money where it doesn't need to be. Buy clothes, buy this, living a lifestyle
which you can't afford.
afford.
And not paying the property taxes.
Right.
Wow. That's called living on the edge.
Too much. But you ain't putting no money towards your property tax. So.
Wow. Okay. So now are you out of that, or we're still paying? You have an installment plan or something?
Took care of that.
They took care of it.
And so we're all up under the property tax. Once again, that all started when this happened. When I had that surgery, it seemed like, okay, listen, this financial nonsense going on, it's got to stop. And also too, because that's what I want to tell you too, is that, so I had the surgery in August. I didn't work, was not allowed to work until March of this year. So that was like, okay, so you can get off of your workman's comp money. That's not really much of anything. Let's just be honest about that. You can barely get yourself groceries. You got to eat food. That check they send you, cool boy, you got to stretch.
So you're saying getting injured on the job and sitting is not your way to riches, right? If anybody has ideas that, oh my God, I can sit at home and enjoy. Yeah,
it's real. It's tough.
Yeah.
Unless you got. Now I'm being honest, it was more tough for me because I didn't have a savings account. You know what I'm saying? If you got something saved or stuff for a rainy day like that, you got like Aflac, like that's what my fiance told me. They're like, all these things I set up now, I should have set up a long time ago. You live and you learn, but it's like, yeah, okay, I should have did this a while ago. But yeah, you got some savings, you got like Aflac, guess you hurt on the job. They can also throw you money as well too. So you're not just getting workman's comp. Aflac's also throwing you shit. Man, so it was real tough for me.
So what you're saying is, like when you mentioned Aflac and all, is that there is a voluntary component to insurance. Like you may get certain things through your employer, but you always have a choice to bump that up by kind of buying some additional insurance yourself. And that typically can be done through your employer. Like if you have a regular employer, they will offer certain insurance on the job, like or short-term disability or maybe even long-term. But almost always there are options to bump it up if you are willing to pay a little bit premium. Most of us don't even think about it unless something happens, but it's always wiser to look at your insurance and make sure you are rightly insured. That brings me to a question. Do you have any insurance now on your life?
Yeah.
No?
Not on my life. And that's next in line. And actually, it should have been. I started when I was like 28. I didn't keep up with it, so I went like that. When I was like 32. 32, I did it again. Didn't keep up with it. But now it's like, I gotta get solid.
Yeah. So even though, like you said, you had two starts, 28, 32, and 40. Now when you go to take the same insurance, you will find out the difference between the premium for a 20-year-old and the premium for a 40-year-old. It's brutal. And that's why, again, I advise everyone that take insurance when you don't need it.
Yeah.
So when you're young, take it, keep it aside. Younger you are 20-year-old, you will not see it as a priority, but when you're 40, you'll always think, maybe I should have taken that insurance. So make sure it's true for everyone. You insure yourself because it takes care of your loved ones if something were to happen. Okay, and the next thing is, I know you already said that what you're making probably may not be enough, but are you doing any savings? Are you able to kind of save anything?
So
in your bank
now, so now I've really just, I don't care if it's a penny, a dollar here, this, that, and third, something's got to go somewhere in my savings. So now I am, but putting things to the side to savings, whatever I can put in there, I put it in. Let's try make sure that I put aside. I budget. So okay, I got my car note coming up. I got my car insurance coming up. What else? Do I have any house bills? Oh, okay. H&M bills.
So give me a quick rundown. Like you have $2,000 say a month income, but you don't have a rent or a mortgage, which is great. Property tax is fine, but like once a year, and ideally you should be keeping aside money every month for property tax so that it doesn't hit you when you have to pay $2,000 at the end of the year. But assuming that we're keeping say $200 a month, I hope you are. If you're not, that's my another advice. That please, if required, open a different savings account and start putting money over there. So that end of the year, we're just taking it out from there and paying the property tax rather than figuring out how do I manage this month by paying the $2,000. But say $300 goes in the property tax, right? And tell me how you're spending. Like that's just 10% of your income.
So that's good. So I say 200 goes here. Okay. So what's next? Now, so then I have your car note. Your car note's due twice a month. So you got to pay $296.
$296 twice a month?
Twice a month.
So we're paying almost $600 for your car now. How much is your car loan? Is this the car which you drive into?
So that car right there, $20,000, $25,000 off the lot. You know what I'm saying?
Did you buy it brand new?
No, this is finance.
Well, finance, but
But not new, not brand. It's 2009.
2019?
2009.
2009 car?
Yeah. So
Which car is this? Can you remind me?
Toyota Camry, 2009 Toyota Camry.
2009 Toyota Camry, and you bought it for $25,000.
Well, that's how much it's on the market for. So I'm just fine. I had to pay that whole thing.
But still, when did you buy it?
So I got this last year.
When the used car market was at its peak, that's the time you decided to buy a car?
Well, it was bad. We needed one badly. Both our cars went down, and it was like work was out distance and stuff. I'm like,
I was aware of Uber. See, I know you need a car. We all need a car. But now if you go back, I don't know. I will check if 2009 Camry is costing $25,000. I doubt. There was a period of time when all the used cars were crazy expensive about a year ago. And unfortunately, that's the time you decided to buy the car. Not only buy the car, you decided to finance the car.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you buy the car for $25,000. See, I am telling you, I drive a 2012 Honda CRV that you see standing parked outside, and I bought it for $16,000 several years ago. But it's 2012, right? And then it's an SUV, and that's why I was surprised that you are buying a sedan for $25,000. Didn't look right. How much was the loan, like the financing? Like, did you finance it the entire amount, or did you pay everything out of pocket?
So I paid out of pocket $6,000. No, for that one, no, $700. I came out of pocket.
Down. So it's pretty much, there must be some fees and also pretty much everything that finance.
If you do lower that, so if I came with $2,000 down, then my monthlies would be cheaper because I had $7,000. It makes your monthlies a little bit higher.
And do you know what is the interest, and like, is it a 7-year loan?
Something like that. 7, 8. I don't like to pay more, Sam, but yeah, about 7 years.
Even more than that, you think? Probably more than that. Huh?
I gotta check.
Yeah. You check on that, but I'm telling you, these car folks are loan sharks. They're taking advantage of you.
I'm coming out of that next month, so that's about to be bye-bye, yeah. So that was, because I only had to have her for 6 months. And I had, so that's why it's called, 6-month the probation period. Well, my life's still, there was some things that she had did on under my license, because the car was in my name. She did the things that she did pay for the stuff. I didn't take care of it. So they opened up a can of worms with the bank. So that's why it's kind of out there, It's like a probation period, and you got to pay this certain amount by this time.
Okay, so your situation, but Musa, I'm telling you, if you are earning $2,000 and you're paying $600 as your car payment, you just can't do it. You just can't. You have to get rid of the car. I don't care whether you have to walk to work, get a different job, bike to work. You just can't afford a $600 car payment.
Yeah.
It's the fact.
And to be honest with you, I invested in, I got myself a moped, 200cc. I own it. It's not leased, it's not financed. It can go on the highway. I even register. And when she had her, said, because that car's killing me, I need something different. You know what I'm saying? I was like, because it is. It's like, I can't wait to get rid of this car. But also, too, I have this bike now. It's mine. I have no car payment on it. It can get on the highway. So people, been like, that's a great investment. And I would like to see it. This all comes after my surgery. It's like this whole surgery thing. We stay at home and there's money, like there's no money and I'm suffering. It's like I'm worried about bills, this, that, and third. It opens up a whole page. It opens up a door that won't close. I mean, literally, unless you're just naive to the fullest, you could probably put that door closed again. But the door opened when I went to surgery.
I understand. So, but you are telling me that you're getting rid of the car.
Yeah, that's going next month.
So what I want from you is you will stop paying that $600 a month.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. Continue to pay $600 a month.
I want to.
Not to the car. Not to the car.
Okay.
Pay yourself.
Okay.
So don't start spending now. We have $600. So we're going back to partying ways or finding out where the $600 goes. This $600 goes in your bank account. So, for example, do you know this concept of an emergency fund? So emergency fund is cash in your own bank account. It should be at least 3 months of your monthly expenses, ideally 6. So if you're spending, say, $1,200, $1,300 a month to get by, right? Tomorrow if you get sick or you lose your job, whatever, this company folds down, God forbid, right? The delivery company that you're working for, you should have a little runway before you either become a destitute or start becoming going to McDonald's and say, I'm going to be a server, right? So you should have something in your bank account that serves you. So unless you have that already, I would recommend that you start putting the $600 there till you, like if you're spending $1,200 a month minimum, then you need $3,600 in your bank account sitting in cash. So that means you need to save the $600 of car payment for 6 months in your bank account, not touch it before you think about anything else. Yeah. Because you owe it to yourself and your family to have something in your bank account which lets you sleep at night, that tomorrow if I do something, and the 600 is not for, okay, I have to pay my cable bill, let me take it from there. It's not account which you reach out to. It's just you save it, and that 3,000 you don't touch. Then you save more. When the 7th month that the 600 comes, then you think about what else to be done with that 600. And that again is not to spend, but that is to invest. Again, if you are doing a training program, for example, to up your skill, you can do that. Otherwise, we will talk about how you can invest that money to sort of bring up, start planning for your retirement, right? So income will keep coming, something will happen, but I'm glad that you are able to afford that 600 and still pay your bills, like you said. I'm glad only because then you know that you can live without that 600. So that's a significant portion of your income, which you will start saving as soon as you get rid of the car payment. So please focus on that, build an emergency fund, and then start spending, saving that money for your future while you work on increasing your income, because $2,000 is not enough.
No, it's not.
And you're clearly working on that, so that's great. That's my advice. Okay, so let's dial it down and let's do some little bit of fun stuff.
Okay.
I have some questions for you.
Yes.
So tell me if you have an option to get either $100K today or $1 million 10 years down the line, what will you choose? Like if somebody writes you a note, take $100K today, or a note that you can in cash after a period of 10 years, but it will be $1 million. So you know there's $1 million down the line. What would you prefer?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good. $800K today.
100, just 100 or $1 million.
I want to go with the growth of the money. I would go. I mean, I've been surviving like this so far. Basically, just honest, I've been pretty good. Like I said, sometimes you look at it like, life sucks. It's like, trust me, there's people out there that would trade everything to be where you're at right now. They're not there. So in that sense, I look at it like that. Like I'm not bad off. It's like there's things I need to clean up. So if that case, I'm surviving right now without it, then what I want to do is like, okay, fine. I'll take that down the line. Because already I'm surviving without it. I already know what it's like not to have it.
Love your answer. There are two very important things in your answer. One is having that gratitude. Wherever you are in life, having that feeling of gratitude, and there are many more who don't even have what you have. So having that feeling of gratitude and thankfulness is great. I love it. And the fact that you are taking that grander vision and saying, at least my future is secured. I can live with lesser money for next several years once I know my future is secure. Why this is so important, that you actually can will yourself $1 million 10 years down the line, right? Because you know that nobody in reality is going to write you $1 million check even after 10 years. But since you are willing to wait, it's a same example that this 600, which we spoke about saving, when you start earning more, and I really wish that you do, right? And when you start earning more, don't let lifestyle choices creep in. You have been there, you have blown through that 50,000.
Yeah.
So make sure that whenever you start earning more, allow a little bit, like if you earn $1,000 extra, for example, from 2 you go to 3,000. Maybe take 200 and say that this 200 is for us to spend for something we want. But most of that money, new money coming in, should be invested and saved. If you don't know anything, just invest in an index fund, which is a stock market, but it's a broader stock market. You're not betting on, I don't know whether this stock tip is good, whether it will go up or not. You're just investing in a broad index fund, which is very easy to find out. If you do learn, I can share some resources, but I will, we're just putting money every month and it grows as per the broader stock market. So now it doesn't grow very fast, but it doesn't go down either. So it grows slowly, but it does grow. Over a longer period of time, it grows a lot, right? So if you start saving and investing, whatever extra money you make, then you can win yourself $1 million 10 years long. It's not out of question, right? So that's where the thought should be. So I really loved your answer. Another interesting question: if money was not an issue at all, right? You didn't have to think about money. What is one thing that you will buy today?
I would buy a trip around the world for my mother. If money was an issue, I said, my bad, Mediterranean, Europe, where should you want to go? Panama. Yeah, let's go. No, you don't need me to come with you. I can't live with none up. It's all yours. Just like you like it. Go have some fun. Go. Let me see that smile on your face. If I could do that right, if money was an issue, she'd be on her trip right now. Because that woman, she talks about so much. And she's like, she's over 75. I know that the time is, it don't live forever. But she's like, I just want to travel the Mediterranean. And the reason why I say this is because she mentions it so much. So if somebody said, right now, money's not a thing. What you want to buy? I want my mother to go have that trip. I love it. Then I mean, for that her go have that trip. Hopefully, God, I have some more years. Hopefully, you never know. But let that woman go have that Mediterranean trip. Let her go try.
I must tell you, I have respect for you for saying that, because parents, they might have done something, they might have done something wrong, right? But having that respect and appreciation for the life they've given us, and how you thought about her before you, I have respect for that. So, great job.
I was mine. Yeah, go ahead, take it. Go.
Lovely. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you like to live in?
Amsterdam.
It came out right away. You have thought about it, right?
We know for each other what it's like. Oh, we don't want to. Well, I one of those that has an exercise. I learned about it in school. I wrote a paper about it. That I just always wanted I thought, to me, I don't know now. I haven't really done much homework on how it is over there and stuff. But then I was like, I would live in Amsterdam if I could. But still to this day, I put it on my bucket list of a place I do want to visit before time ends. Is I still want to take a trip over to Europe, and I want to, at least spend a day in Amsterdam. Just see it. My sister's been there. I've always wanted to go there since I was like 12. Like 12, 13. So how are there today? I come up here and say, like, boy keeps talking about his stuff. Yeah, I want it. I would. Like I said, I don't know what it is right now. They call it my current events. What's going on over there? I know about the wars and stuff like that. But if it's still cool,
yeah, I'm sure it's still cool. And I love that you have desire. See, if you have a goal to work towards, right, something, it's not something which is impossible. If you live your life right, get yourself some saving, who knows, maybe after 10 years you have those options where you can live. And the world is changing. Now people are already doing a lot of remote jobs, learning those skills. Sometimes, again, you spoke about acting, right?
Yeah.
There are many who are actually doing the gigs online. And again, when you speak to the friend that I'll get you in touch with, he'll tell you there are things which are being done on Zoom. Like people are kind of creating their own clips and sharing, and still that is making sense. And then of course there is coaching. So there are various things that can be done once you have some experience under your belt.
Yeah.
So I wish you go to Amsterdam. Wonderful.
It's a little trip. I'm a month, 2 months over there.
Lovely. So I also ask this to everyone. You have a partner, like you really told me. So you can think in that regard, or you can just give your general observation. But how important it is for you? What do you think? For your partner to have same money philosophies, same money habits, or same appreciation as you, like that money compatibility, how important is that, do you think?
That's a good question. I'm just going to be honest with you, because we've already had a little tension moment with finances not too long ago. To be honest with you, I wish someone had some things she would actually take a little more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. I can't be more serious about that. There's some things that, to me, honestly, it's like, come on, man, that's not acceptable. I'm confused, and that's disturbing, because this is unaccounted for. There's nothing to show for it. If there's something to show for it, I understand that. A little is better than none. I got none. You can't speak up and give me the honest to God truth. What happened? So you just gonna tell me anything? You shouldn't be around with that? I was born at night, not last night. Also,
You were only one at night?
I was.
Okay.
It was September 20th. I thought that let me forget it. I was 9-hour labor. She hated me. Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah. And I say that and I doubt that because, like I said, just a couple of days ago, I'm like, where's this at? Why is this the only thing that's left? Oh, I thought we were gonna have this money. Do not set yourself up for disappointment. Do not put all your eggs in one basket, because this is where happy cheaper.
Yeah.
Where we at.
Yeah.
Now look what you got to do.
So thanks for sharing that. And I think it's not just you. Most couples need to work their money issues. And I hope like you guys get on the same page. If there is some help needed, get that. But it's important to get on the same page. But if somebody does not have a partner, for example, and they're looking for a partner, do you think in general, of course, I don't say that you interview them about many things first, but sometimes we just neglect to kind of probe that aspect of a person's personality. How important do you think that is?
Very important. If you could go back, if I could go back, during your beginning stages, pay attention to spending. She's doing, know what you're doing. Pay attention to us. Pay attention to the house. Pay attention to the things that you see around. When they come back with bags, pay attention to stuff like this. I'm trying to tell you because it spells a lot real fast. You come back and you say, what's this? A new duster. We got 3 of those. But what we get this for? What we need that for?
Well said.
Pay attention to stuff like that.
You should. I agree. It's not the primary thing in the relationship. You need other compatibility first, for sure. But I'm with you, and I strongly recommend that when you are looking for a partner, a significant other, make sure we're also paying attention and at least going into the relationship with an open eye. You will decide that your partner's other qualities are so, like you are so enamored with that you are willing to let go of this. But don't go into a relationship with your eyes closed financially. You should at least know what you are getting yourself into, because that's going to, that's a every evening, every night conversation, right? Yeah. And it's not fun.
Yeah, you're right about that. You hit that on the nail. Facts.
Lovely. So, sir, I appreciate you talking with me. Do you have any questions with me? Anything that I can help you with? Any questions around money, finances that you think are in your mind?
Because I don't know, maybe down the line I'm probably gonna have like some ideas I want to run past you. I know right now my focus is definitely, take this time, this opportunity that I have, that I was able to, and I have to say, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I did have to get the fund to be able to invest in myself and go forward with the acting classes and stuff like that. And now it's just, I want to keep it going. I like you said, that timetable. So that's actually key. And I'm glad you mentioned it, because it does pop into my head, and it needs to stay there, and it needs to be echoed sometimes. I don't want to get content. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm stuck doing the same dead-end area. It's like, hey, listen, we got a goal here, and we got to keep it moving. We don't have time to slack because we're not there at this time. Yeah, then it's like, okay, if I'm not there at the time, now, hey, Capsule or Amazon, hey, okay, let's get this 9 to 5 going. How much you offering me? Okay, let's get this, the health insurance and all that type of stuff like that. Yeah, but if I could have your number to contact you on any sorts of financials, what you think, what's your thoughts? Like, hey, I'm confused right now. I forgot my tax thing again.
So I must tell you, which is true. Like, when we signed up for this, I told you that I'm not a registered financial advisor, so I cannot give you a financial advice. What I can do is talk to you as a friend, right? And that's what this conversation is, right? Just talking from experience, talking about what is right. The right thing to do is for you to talk to a financial advisor. Like, you can always bounce things with me. I'm there, and you can come to my social channels and we can talk, right? Yeah. That's all fine. But do remember that somebody just telling you something may or may not be right for your exact situation. So the best thing is to, one, be informed yourself. Yeah. And if you think you really need help, then talking to a financial advisor is the right solution, right? A registered somebody who is actually going to spend time with you, understanding your finances, and tell you what is exactly right for you. Having said that, there are different types of financial advisors. I recommend only working with what they call as fee-only financial advisors. So who will give you an hour, just go through your finances, give you advice. when you have some money, like if you don't have money, then there is no point. But when you start accumulating some money, work with somebody who will only charge you for that. Because like how you had somebody hand you out a $25,000 car loan, if you go to somebody who is not honest to their profession, they may be a financial advisor, but they may tell you that I'm keeping 10% of whatever, let your money, keep your money with me, I'll charge you this fee, that fee. That's not good. So a good financial advisor will give you honest advice and charge for their time, but that's about it. Okay. But yeah, of course, like I said, as long as you understand that it's not an official financial advice, feel free to ask.
Yeah, we got right there. That's right. That I appreciate. You know, because you're not, to me, you're not telling me stuff that's just hot smoke. You have guidelines that actually proven actually be beneficial down the line. So
That's the idea. That's the idea.
I don't mind. I mean, I know there. I just say, John, fine. But if I did this, what you think? You put
I don't get
yeah, absolutely. It's about your point.
Yeah, I think you got it, man. Okay, lovely. Any other question?
Hell at the top. I appreciate this right here. I appreciate you letting me get it off my chest. Yeah, it's been bad. Like I said, there's been some tension. And yeah, sometimes you want somebody that you want to talk with somebody too, and just, hey, look, what this girl doing? How, say, but I'm the only one out here. All my family's in Boston. My mom's out here, but my mom is in her world, so to speak. So, today, and honestly saying with you right now, it feels good to just be like, this is what's been going on. Yes, I've been 50,000. I don't even know. I want to talk about this forever.
And then I appreciate you coming and being willing to share it on this platform. This video goes on YouTube. But I see, the thing is, there are many people in your situation, for example, who have problems, but they feel like I should not be talking to anybody. But like how you said that you felt better, I think talking to a friend, talking to somebody either you trust or right, whether it feels right to you, but getting it off your chest, saying things out loud, sometimes that itself, like you yourself will get ideas.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, it didn't come out right, maybe I didn't do it right. Yeah. Right? So throw it out there, and then if you are really putting it out there for the world to saying, I will do this in 6 months, for example, that took guts, but that's the right first step.
Yeah.
So I commend you for that. Thank you for coming here, doing this with us. I really wish you all the best.
Appreciate them. All right.